G'day, welcome to the video. So today we're going to be doing the good old thread sealer on another leak on the AU. So this one is the timing chain tensioner bolt. You can replace the O-rings and that, but it's a cheap AU, so I'm just going to crack the big bolt and put some thread sealer on there. And also the leak has made the alternator filthy, so we're going to clean that as well. I'll show you how to clean an alternator. I'm no mechanic, but this is just cheap ways to clean up the car and make it run a little bit better. So let's get stuck in and I'll show you the process. Okay, so a bit of a quick step-by-step what we're going to be going through. So we'll want to disconnect the battery because we'll be messing with the alternator. We'll want to pull these fans out, which there's just a bolt in behind here. One bolt each side, 2 bolts total, and then just the fans will slip out. You just move these to the side and unplug your plug here to get that out. Okay, so the leak is coming from behind this power steering pump bracket. There's a bolt, tensioner bolt behind here. So we'll be having a look at that, and that's where the leak's coming from, and that's what we'll apply the thread sealer to. So we'll have to then take the belt off to obviously get this off, and then that will give us more access to the alternator, and we'll take that completely out and we'll clean it. I think that's about it as far as the process goes, but I'll try and show you what I need to throughout. Alright, let's get stuck in. So battery's disconnected, earth positives just tucked away. Now we'll take these fans out. We'll just move this out of the way. See if I can do this one-handed. Put that there for now. We've unplugged this plug here. We've undone the 2 bolts. This might be a bit of a struggle, but there we have it. 1.5 hands, and it just slips out. Chuck that down there for now. Alright, as you can see, there's heaps of room now. We'll get this belt off. Definitely need 2 hands for that. So I'll see you guys in a jiff. Alright, so we've got our belt out. Here's the tensioner. It actually has a thing to fit in your socket bit, and I just put my hand here, which is really dangerous because you could lose your fingers. Not lose your fingers, but you know. I pulled it here and then released the tension, slipped the belt off the top here, and then just let it go instead of lowering it, otherwise it would have squished my fingers. But it's easy enough, just be careful because there is a lot of tension in there and it will squish a finger. So we've got that off. Next thing, power steering pump. Let's get it. There we have the power steering pump. I just lifted it out and twisted it, and it's perched up there. I've made a little diagram for the bolts I took out. And this little bar went from the alternator to the power steering pump. Alright, so next thing is the rest of the bolts out of the alternator, and then we'll take this bracket off and have a look at this tensioner bolt. Alright, this is one filthy leak, as you can see. I've got the alternator out. That's caked in oil. So we'll clean that up. To get that out, I had to take some of these leads off, which are all 10mm, and this plug, which I was about to crawl underneath, but then I realized I could just poke it with a screwdriver with one hand and pull it with the other, just because it's at the bottom of the alternator. But conveniently they leave a little slot for you to grab it out. Because it was oily, I couldn't get a hold of it, so I just poked the screwdriver in there and then pulled with my other hand, and that came out relatively easily. Now you can see we need to get under here. But yeah, all the alternator bolts are mostly 10mm. These were like 13mm or something like that. And I just used my extra long socket, or you can use your extension. And here's my little sketchy diagram. But as long as you can understand it, that's all that matters. Give everything a nice soak in here. So we've got this little bracket off now. Put that down there. This one can't come off, so you have to get a mirror to be able to see your bolt, which is right under here. And we'll pop that out, and I'll just back it off. It's important not to take it all the way out, because then your timing chain can fall off. So we'll back it out and we'll clean it up as much as we can and apply the thread sealer and then put it back in. So I just applied the thread sealer to that outer edge there, backed it out about 10mm, applied the thread sealer and then put it back in. Hopefully that's fixed the leak. And then also I put new thread sealer on this one here, because it looked like that might have been leaking a tiny bit. I've tried to clean it up a little bit. Could probably clean it up a bit more, but without a high pressure washer it's going to be a bit hard, so we'll just soak it all in terps and let that eat away at the oils, and then we'll take it back past the car wash once we're all done and try and wash it out a bit. So I've sprayed this a couple more times, and I'll just let this soak now overnight, and hopefully obviously clean it up a bit. It's all back together now, as you can see. I've got everything back in, about to hook the battery up. With a mirror you can still see the bolt under there, and I've cleaned it up, so I'll keep checking to make sure it doesn't leak. And I also put a bit of thread seal on the belt tensioner bolt here, because I seen somewhere that might leak, so whilst I had it off I did that as well. There we have it, we've got it all back in there. We can still check underneath with a mirror to see if it's leaking. and we'll go for a couple drives and see how she goes. If you got any questions, just let us know in the comments, and I will answer them the best I can. Stay tuned for the next one. Any suggestions about videos, once again, in the comments. Yeah, stay tuned. Have a good one.